Investigate his claims. Examine the evidence. Make your decision. News about the miracles of Jesus was spreading fast. Crowds would gather to see what he would do next.
Afterward, Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holy days. Inside the city, near the sheep gates, was the pool of Bethesda with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, or paralyzed, lay on the porches. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him and knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him,
"Would you like to get well?"
"I can't, sir," the sick man said, "for I have no one to put me into the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me." Jesus told him,
"Stand up, pick up your mat, and walk."
Instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. But this miracle happened on the Sabbath, so the Jewish leaders objected. They said to the man who was cured,
"You can't work on the Sabbath. The law doesn't allow you to carry that sleeping mat."
But he replied, "The man who healed me told me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'"
Who said such a thing as that?
They demanded. The man didn't know, for Jesus had disappeared into the crowd. But afterward, Jesus found him in the temple and told him,
"Now you are well, so stop sinning, or something even worse may happen to you."
Then the man went and told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who had healed him.
The Sabbath is a holy day of rest for the Jewish people, when they are supposed to rest rather than work. The religious leaders, however, took things to the extreme, and they added lots of extra rules. When they saw the healed man carrying his mat, and they discovered who had healed him, they were furious with Jesus. This was no trick in a magic show, for there was no collaboration between the man and Jesus before the event, and Jesus had disappeared into the crowd. This incredible miracle again pointed to the fact that Jesus really was who he claimed to be. He was the Messiah, the promised one sent from God.
So the Jewish leaders began harassing Jesus for breaking the Sabbath rules. But Jesus replied,
"My Father is always working, and so am I."
So the Jewish leaders tried all the harder to find a way to kill him. For he not only broke the Sabbath, he called God his Father, thereby making himself equal with God.
At the end of his book, John tells us that the purpose of his account is to bring his readers into an understanding that Jesus is God. However, the religious leaders did not believe Jesus. How dare he claim to be God? From this point onwards, the religious leaders plotted to kill Jesus.